Imagine a young girl standing alone on the endless American frontier, her father gone, her mother fading, and nothing but dust and dreams stretching for miles. This is the true spirit of America, the untold story of Clara, an ordinary pioneer who faced impossible hardships, crossed dangerous lands, and rose from heartbreaking loss to become an inventor who changed the nation forever. From the Wild West to the booming cities, from despair to triumph. This is the emotional journey of one woman's unbreakable will that helped build the American dream we know today. Stay with me, because her story will inspire you to never give up, no matter how dark the road gets.
In the vast expanse of the American West where golden plains stretched endlessly, under a sky so blue it seemed painted by divine hands, young Clara stood on the porch of her family's log cabin, the wind whispering secrets through the tall grass. Her parents, immigrants from distant lands, had chased the promise of a new life only to face the brutal reality of drought and hardship. Her father lost to a fever that swept the frontier like wildfire. Her mother, frail and broken, clutching a faded photograph of better days. Clara, at 16, felt the crushing weight of survival, the American spirit they spoke of in hushed tones around campfires felt like a distant myth, swallowed by the dust storms that choked the air. Yet in her heart, a quiet sadness stirred, mingled with a spark of defiance, urging her to grasp the reins of fate and ride into the unknown. Days melted into nights as Clara toiled in the sun-baked fields, her hands blistered from wielding the plow that once belonged to her father. The neighbors scattered like leaves in the wind, their farms foreclosed by banks that showed no mercy. Letters from relatives back east spoke of factories humming with opportunity, but the journey seemed impossible with empty pockets and a mother too weak to travel. Loneliness wrapped around Clara like a heavy blanket, her dreams haunted by visions of barren lands and lost loved ones. The sadness deepened when winter came, fierce and unforgiving, snow blanketing the world in silence. But in those frozen moments, she found a glimmer of motivation, staring at the stars, remembering tales of pioneers who crossed mountains with nothing but grit, vowing to forge her own path through the storm. One fateful dawn, as the sun rose like a beacon over the horizon, Clara packed a small satchel with bread, a worn map, and her father's old compass. Kissing her mother's forehead with promises of return, she set out on horseback, the trail leading eastward through rugged canyons and roaring rivers. The American landscape unfolded before her, majestic and merciless encounters with strangers along the way, some kind offering shelter, others wary of a lone girl. The sadness of leaving home lingered like a shadow, but the motivation surged with every mile. The stories of opportunity in the bustling cities fueling her steps, whispering that the land of the free held keys to unlock her chained dreams. The journey tested Clara's soul. Bandits lurking in the shadows stole her horse, leaving her to walk miles under scorching sun. Rivers swollen from rains nearly swept her away, hunger gnawing at her insides like a relentless beast. Nights spent under open skies, the howls of coyotes echoing her inner turmoil. Memories of her father's laughter faded into the vastness. The sadness threatened to consume her when fever struck, mirroring the illness that claimed him. Yet in delirium, she envisioned the gleaming spires of Chicago, the heart of American industry. That motivation pulled her from the brink, strangers, nurses in a passing wagon train tending her wounds, reminding her that kindness still bloomed in this wild land. Stepping into Chicago, the clamor of streetcars and factory whistles assaulted Clara's senses. The skyline, a forest of smokestacks belching progress into the air. She found work in a textile mill, her fingers flying over looms amid the din of machines, surrounded by fellow immigrants, their faces etched with the same weary hope. The sadness resurfaced when news arrived of her mother's passing alone on the frontier, a letter clutched in her hand. But Clara channeled the pain into determination, rising early to learn reading and writing in night classes, the American dream revealing itself not as gold but as the chance to rebuild. From ashes motivating her to climb the ladder of opportunity one thread at a time. Amid the mill's endless shifts, Clara met Samuel, a young inventor with eyes full of fire, his workshop tucked in a dingy alley, where gears and blueprints danced in the lamplight. He spoke of machines that could change the world, inspired by Edison's glow and Ford's assembly lines. Their bond grew from shared stories of loss, his family torn by the civil wars. Echoes the sadness they carried became a bridge, connecting their souls, yet motivation sparked in their collaboration. Clara's practical insights fueling his designs together. Dreaming of a device to ease the farmer's burden, a testament to American ingenuity that promised to heal the wounds of the past. Success seemed within reach when their prototype, a mechanical harvester, gleamed in the workshop. But betrayal struck, a rival inventor stealing their plans, claiming it as his own. The courts, blind to their pleas, dismissed the case, leaving Clara and Samuel shattered. Debts mounting like thunderclouds, the sadness crashed over them, waves of despair threatening to drown their spirits. Nights spent in silence, tears mingling with the rain outside, yet in that abyss motivation reignited. Fierce and unyielding, they vowed to innovate a new drawing from the resilient heart of America, where failure was merely a stepping stone to greater heights. Rebuilding from scraps, Clara and Samuel poured their souls into a new invention, an irrigation system that tamed the arid lands, drawing water from depths unknown. Patents secured through relentless advocacy, their creation spread across the Midwest, transforming dust bowls into fertile fields. Acclaim followed, articles in newspapers hailing them as heroes of the heartland. The sadness of old losses lingered, a quiet companion, but now transmuted into fuel, propelling them forward. Speeches at expositions, inspiring crowds with tales of perseverance. The American audience cheering, the embodiment of grit that turned tragedy into triumph. With prosperity came purpose. Clara returned to the frontier, reclaiming her family's land, turning it into a thriving farm school where children of immigrants learned skills to conquer the wild. She married Samuel, their home a beacon of warmth, children filling the air with laughter. The motivation that once saved them now passed to the next generation, building communities that bridged divides. The sadness of the past honored in memorials to the fallen, yet the emotional flow carried them toward horizons bright with possibility, embodying the enduring spirit of America, where every scar told a story of unbreakable resolve. Decades later, standing before a gathered crowd at the World's Fair, Clara gazed upon faces alight with hope, her voice steady, recounting the journey from frontier despair to innovative glory, urging them to embrace the sad valleys as crucibles for motivational peaks. The American dream, she proclaimed, was woven from threads of struggle and triumph, a cinematic saga of the human heart. As applause echoed like thunder, she felt profound fulfillment, the emotional flow of her life inspiring generations to chase their own frontiers with unwavering courage.